A friend of mine was just in an accident wearing a seatbelt. The seatbelt broke her sternum. That bone just there. Now, if that bone had splintered off and gone the wrong direction, what would have happened to her? So she would have been killed by a seatbelt. Oh. But they're there to save our lives, to stop us going through a windscreen. But in an accident, it will probably crush your chest and push your ribs into your heart. Your heart doesn't like that very much. It coughs and splutters and stops. The reason you're made to wear a seatbelt in the first place is because it's an insurance policy against part of the machine being broken that can't do the job it needs to do to keep the machine running. It's your choice. It is your choice. If my destiny, I believe in destiny. I don't actually believe in it. I know I have a destiny. I know my destiny brought me here today. Do you know how I know I've got a destiny? And I know everything's meant to be? Because if I wasn't meant to be doing this, I'd be somewhere else doing something else. Well, it is simple, isn't it? So, you have choices every single day. And this is what I want, the choice, you've got a choice whether to say yes or no. You don't have to accept things. And it's going to take a lot of us to do this. We've started something on TPUC, and I did it at 4 of my talks. We picked Tesco's. Tesco. We picked Tesco's, and we said, right, we're going to boycott Tesco's over fuel. We're not going to Tesco's anymore. We're going to boycott them. Absolutely. Very well said. Who was that? Well done. Quick wit, sir. What happens when enough people boycott Tesco's? What will happen to Tesco's fuel prices? What will everybody else do who supplies fuel? They'll bring their prices down, won't they? But you don't stop there. You then pick the highest again and do exactly the same. What are you going to end up with in the end? You're going to end up with fuel, not free, it was wishful thinking going on. What you're going to end up with is a situation where the fuel prices get to a reasonable level and will stay there because they know exactly what you'll do if they start to rise again. Who holds the power? You're getting it. See how simple it is? Now you can go down to Parliament Square and stand there till you're blue in the face, barking and shouting. You can protest outside Parliament, you can protest outside Downing Street, which is nicknamed Fort Knox. You can do all of that and they'll just put the prices up. What happens if you start to deny their lifeline? See? It's this simple. This is how simple it is. If you want to take this government to court, can I ask you a question? What court are you going to actually take them to that they don't own? This one. Yeah, okay. No. I'd feel sorry for them if they walked into here, believe me. There'd be nooses hanging from all over the place. Poor buggers. I can't protect them all. Yeah.
It says in there this morning, EU takes UK to court.
Where? What court?
It says to court.
Oh, well, to court. So the EU are courting us now. There isn't one that they don't own. You've just got to get to the reality of this. There isn't a court that these people do not own. So where are you going to take them? There is nowhere. So it's like, right, it's going in, this is it, right. You're walking into the court to complain to Hitler about his SS guards. But that's what you're doing. You just don't get it. The only recourse you have is the ability to say no. That's the only ability you've got. And it's the only one you actually need. Okay, how many people control us? You got any idea how many people actually control us? Yeah, go on, kid.
I heard recently that it's only 12 people in the world who control everything.
Yeah, well, trust you to come out with something like that. Well, that's even better, actually, because the odds, 70 million to 12. Brian's talked about this many, many times. The odds are phenomenal. Why are you allowing this to happen? Oh, but if I don't pay my council tax, they're going to come and take my possessions that I value so much. Or the commodity I actually used to get them possessions in the first place. But what if all of you did it? Have they got enough bailiffs? They wouldn't know what. Where do we go next? Have they got enough police? No. They haven't got enough of anything. So when a bailiff gets in trouble and he calls the police for the backup, who's coming? No one. Mr. Bailiff's on his own. Do you get what I'm getting at? This is so simple. If you've got a problem, look for the simplest answer. That's all you've got to do. Every bit of power in this country is granted by you, and you can stop this whenever you want it to stop. Yes, you can. I am proof of it. I am proof that it can be done. Nothing. It's quite simple because we realise that they're sending us something that is coming under policy, which is a contract. So we realise it's a contract, they're offering us something. So we just send back the offer saying, well, no, thank you. We don't want it. You've got to do a lot of research to come to the understanding of that, and you've got to really dig deep. But it's what you see, right, it works in stages. What happens is, when you suddenly realise there's something wrong with the world, it's like springing out of a box. And you go, ooh, it's a bit different out here. And you jump, but the trouble is you generally land up in another box, which is another core belief system. So you're in there for a little while when you're talking to people, and then you stick your head, oh, it's different again. And you land in another box. And that's the process you're going through because you've just asked that question. What you'll find out is you're actually going the wrong way. And if you go that way and go, oh, it's simple. This is the boxes of the complicated crap that we live in. The only reason you subscribe to the complicated world as it is because you don't know anything different. And the one thing we fear more than anything is the unknown. Because what happens when we're in the unknown? You have no control. And that's what we fear, the loss of control. If you took this government to court for treason, who would replace it? And what would you become? Exactly. You'd become them. Because a whole different system is needed. Anybody seen V for Vendetta? Yes. Do you like the end? Yes. This year? I don't know, I've got no contacts with Dynamite. Semtex? Oh. No, we don't need to do anything like that. The concept, metaphorically, it's explaining something to you. We don't need that building. Not anymore. We've gone too far. None of that's needed, especially when they put through things like this. When you read this document for yourself, and I'm going to explain it to you now. I'm going to explain a little bit about it. I rang up Parliament the other day. I love having a chat with them. When I first used to ring up Parliament, I couldn't speak their language. You have to speak their language. Don't have to put on a voice. The women actually in the audience are better at this because you have a telephone voice. And that's the voice you need when you're speaking to these people. But what you need is their language, so you have to speak in their language. Okay? I can speak their language now, so I get a lot more answers. And I rang up Parliament the other day, and I happened to get hold of a very, very nice man, who I actually asked if I could meet him outside Parliament sometime to have a proper chat, which he declined.